one of the greatest impediments to success, to progress, to advancement in the corporate world today as opposed to yesterday is the influx of technology that we are simply unable to contain. And here's a great story about just how these distractions that we are unable to master form those points where we lose opportunity that could take us to our goals, to those greener pastures sooner than later. This is a story of three friends who early one morning were walking up to the station to take the train that was starting from that station. So the train was at the platform and there were no other passengers so early in the morning. And in those days, the trains didn't have doors. So these three sat on the bench on the platform, chit-chatting, telling jokes, enjoying themselves. The station master, who was in his office on this little tower on that same platform, looked down, noticed them, and thought to himself, oh, isn't that wonderful? Three friends having a great time waiting to catch the train. Now, these three were so lost in their banter that they totally forgot to notice that the time of departure had arrived and the train had slowly begun moving out of the platform. But one friend suddenly noticed and picked up the bags and ran. Now, of course, the other two followed him, and as that happened, the train was picking up speed. One jumped on, and just as the last bogie was about to leave the platform, the second guy jumped on, and the third friend sat there watching the train disappear into the morning mist with his two friends. And he was the very picture of disappointment and sadness. So he goes back to that bench, puts his head in his hands and starts crying. Now, the station master had seen all this drama, so he comes down. He thought, let me just console this guy. So he comes up to him and says, hey, the station master, I've seen what happened. Don't worry about it. Your friends will wait for you at the next stop. A few more minutes, another train will come. You can get on. No need to feel so sad. And the third friend looked up at the station master with moist eyes and choking voice, said, they came to see me off. See, this is what happens in our daily lives. We are so engrossed in these distractions, these notifications, these thoughts. See, distractions don't always come from outside. Oh, they do, plenty of them. But many of them come from inside. How often you're sitting and writing a proposal at your desk and suddenly you don't even know how it's happened. You start thinking of something else. This has happened since the first man walked the planet. But today, with all this technology, the notifications, you're never able to finish what you started, to allow those creative juices to flow freely, unrestricted, and compose this masterpiece proposal or whatever it is you're doing. So keep this in mind. You have a choice. Either you learn how to master the mind, how to control the monkey mind. And this is one of the first modules that we have in our workshops. We begin, of course, with 1 week of preparation. Before the workshop begins, what is that preparation? Learning how to look at the inner self, to abstain from killing, from backbiting, basically to create that moral space. And then when we start with meditation. Why? Because meditation helps to sharpen your mind, to keep you away from distraction. And if this is not taken seriously, all your effort will come to naught. All your skills will never manage to get the market value they truly deserve. So keep this little story in mind and see how profitability and progress become like a shadow